Hello YouTube, you've joined me on a glorious Monday morning. Lovely weather, glorious weather here in the southeast of England. This is, I think, probably attempt number 7 to put some content together. I came back from my Arabian adventures on the 11th of this month to start my retired life. I've been amazingly busy, and I'll explain that in a minute, but amazingly busy since I've been back. And every time I've tried to put something together, something hasn't worked. Initially, setting stuff up on the motorcycle with the Insta360 didn't work. Yep, sounds interesting. So setting things up with the Insta didn't work. The voice recognition and the hand signals didn't work. I understand the voice recognition, it was probably wind noise or something. The unit was just too far away, so that was a bit of a disaster. The GoPro, I had to fiddle with the mic again. Voice recognition, getting it to stop and start recording was a challenge. Obviously my accent maybe threw it a little bit. But I think, touch wood, I think we're just about there now. I did a ride out to Deal, which was going to be another attempt at putting some material together, and I seemed to have everything in reverse. I only took the GoPro because I felt it was going to be reliable, but I basically recorded everything I didn't want to record. Anyway, I think we're sort of there or thereabouts now, and it's been a bit of a challenge because I've always done editing and stuff on my MacBook, but we have this Italian adventure coming up. I'm supposed to be leaving next week to have a month riding down through France to Italy to see some friends and then back, about just under 3,000 miles altogether. And of course I wanted all this kit to be working so that I could record the trip. So lots of false starts, but the point being, I'm not going to be doing any editing on my MacBook. I've got to do it all on my iPad. So I'm using apps. So on the MacBook, I was using CapCut Desktop, which is very good, but I don't want to take the MacBook with me, just in case it gets broken or stolen. But I do have a very good iPad, which has about 1 terabyte of storage on it, an iPad Pro. So I've been learning to use LumaFusion, which means I can now obviously take the stuff off the telephone when I'm using the telephone for recording. I can transfer my GoPro material across to the iPad, and I can also do my editing on the iPad for the Insta360. All still seems painfully slow, but we'll see how that goes and how long it takes me to get bored with doing it. So we think we're there with all the media nonsense. Now I don't do reviews and stuff like that. I'm not really interested in doing that, but I have bought quite a lot of kit for the trip. Thank you to all you YouTubers out there that do lots of reviews and test runs and and stuff, because I've relied heavily on that, and you'll see stuff, I'm sure, as we go through. But today is all about really the equipment that I'm taking, and basically how we're going to fit it all on the Super Meteor 650. So we're going to give that, we're going to have a look at what all that looks like and see if realistically it's going to come together. So yeah, we'll get on with that. So basically we're looking at getting sort of all of that plus some clothes and some bike tools onto that. So while we're here, I guess we can have a quick look at the bike setup itself. So those of you that have taken the trouble of listening to my diatribe previously, what have we done? We've got the DNA air filter fitted. We have also fitted the Fuel X light. Both really do make a difference. We have the footboards and the brake extension there. We put a rack on the back. It came with the touring seat and the panniers and the windscreen, but we've also put these handlebar or hand protectors on, and that was exciting because I managed to screw up the bar end, couldn't get it drilled out even at my friendly motorbike shop, and so we had to put new handlebars on. We have the Aochi CarPlay system, which has been working extremely well. Again, as I say, I don't do reviews, but we've got the screen on there. We've got our crit stickers and so on. Just thinking about anything else we've done. Not too much really. We've got lots of toys and stuff. The wonderful thing about the Aochi, and I'm not doing a review, but the cameras, there's one on the back there, and I've got the other one mounted on the front there. These dash cams are really good quality, and for a piece of kit that costs less than 150 quid, it's not a bad setup. Anyway, one thing that I'm a bit sort of swithery about at the moment is whether to leave this backrest on, because without the backrest it gives me quite a lot more real estate to put bags of stuff on. But we'll check that out in a bit. So anyway, there's the bike, and we'll get back to looking at the equipment we've decided to take. So you've seen the basic pile of stuff that we've got to get on the bike, and the bike itself with all the bits and pieces. I have made a list of the stuff that I think I'm going to take, which we'll go into in a second. But you can see on the screen now the approximate route that I'm planning to take. Now, the idea is that I'll probably go across on the tunnel, or through the tunnel. We live literally 15 minutes away from the Channel Tunnel. We live in Hythe. I mean, taking the ferry, it's only going to add 15 minutes, I think, to the journey from here to Dover. But I think either way, we'll get across to Calais, and then my plan is to travel west. I'm going to go and spend a couple of days visiting the Normandy beaches and paying some respects and seeing museums, cemeteries and the like. We'll either stay in Cerne or in Bayeux, not decided. In the best traditions of what all the epic travellers say, I'm trying to be as fluid as possible with booking things in advance and so on. And this time of year, April, May, when I'm away, into early June, hopefully things won't be too busy. So after a few days there, I'm going to travel across to Mont Saint-Michel, and then I'm going to make my way down the west coast into Bordeaux, then carry on down into the south of France, and take that lovely road trip around the coast and into Italy, down towards Pisa, and then across to towards Florence, where I'm going to stay with a dear old friend and mentor of mine. I'll be going to travel down to Spoleto to visit a dear friend and colleague there for a few days, and then I'll travel across to the east coast of Italy, up the east coast, and then go inland to Lake Garda, and then Lake Como, and then through Switzerland, then up the east side of France, back to Calais, and through the tunnel. I'm just speaking quickly now because I think my neighbour's about to start his lawnmower. You might have heard that in the background. I don't know if you can hear the randy bullfrogs. This is just a lovely place to live, I tell you. Okay, so that's the broad sort of plan in terms of the trip. I think we'll be doing just under 3,000 miles with bits and pieces. But yeah, between 2,500 and 3,000 miles. The plan is to get back for my wife's 50th birthday party, which will be on the 7th of June. My plan is to leave on the 7th of May. So the trip itself, the length of time I stay in different places and the time I take to get places, the distances I travel every day will depend on how well the trip is going, how much progress I'm making, how fed up I get, and so on. Anyway, that's the plan for the trip itself. I really want to camp as much as possible, even though I'm an old fart. I really fancy the camping. If I get fed up, then I'll book something else, as and when I want to, and depending on the weather. But the plan is to camp as much as possible, and to be as flexible as possible. And thanks to all you YouTubers out there and adventurers that have put so much great content together, that have helped with the planning, and even the mental preparation. Yeah, Freddie Dobbs, superhero of mine, does the craziest trips with minimum preparation, it looks like. Of course, there's the absolute extreme Itchy Boots. I've been following her for a long time, particularly her latest adventures down through Saudi Arabia and Yemen, an area of the country I was actually living in until the 11th of April when I came back. But there are many, many more, and again, all of those great guys that have done reviews of equipment and stuff, and we'll just get on now and have a quick look at the kit. So there we are. It's still not actually pegged down, but we've decided to put the canopy on so you can see It's actually quite a nice little setup. It's a good sized canopy if it's raining anyway. You can get underneath that. And then you'll see lots of space, plenty of space inside. So yeah, I'm quite impressed. Okay, so now we've pretty much loaded the bike up with everything, and she does not look too bad. That's including clothes and everything I could think of. Don't just ignore the rough and ready tie downs. But yeah, so I reckon that she'll be perfect. And of course we can make adjustments along the way. We've got plenty of rock straps, and I don't like using bungees, but we've got plenty of everything. So yeah, I think we have a result. So it looks like we might actually get something out on YouTube. Still had a few challenges and bits and pieces with LumaFusion, just getting to know how it works properly, to be honest. As they say, the nut on the end was broken, not the app. This has all been shot on my telephone, by the way, but that's another story. So if you've made it this far, thank you very much for watching. The next video should, fingers crossed, be the start of the trip to Italy, which will be, I think, going from here across the channel in the tunnel, and then around to Cerne or Bayeux. Anyway, thanks for watching. Give it a like if you liked it, or not, and I'll see you again shortly. Wishing you good health and happiness.